right, it's the Chunk Podcast, and we are back at it again, talking all things Superior Smash Brothers Ultimate, right? It's Superior. I think it's Superior, right? We got JJ Mitchell here, myself, Justin Doyle, and we are on, and we are ready to talk about a game that I guess this podcast could be qualified as better late than never, but we've been playing it for a while now. You've probably played it a little more than I have, and we need to talk about this gaming masterpiece. Oh, did I already give away my review? I think I already gave away my review of it right there.
Yeah, I've dumped a significant amount of time into this game. But I do know, a handful of people that typically play Smash that have been holding out on the Switch. So perhaps this will be the convincing that they need to finally go out and blow $350.
Absolutely. Oh, well, you're talking about people who just don't have the Switch at all. That this is the reason they should go get it.
They need their Smash machine, is what I'm saying.
Okay, that's fair. To me, I mean, it could have been anybody. If you were a Zelda fan, Breath of the Wild should have gotten it for you. And even if you're not a Zelda fan, at that particular moment when that game came out, I was not really a Zelda fan until I played Breath of the Wild. That should have got you here. Mario Odyssey should have gotten you here. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee should have gotten you here. If you're not here by Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I mean, are you even going to be here? You know what I mean? Are you going to be a Nintendo Switcher at this point?
I mean, dude, not to mention it's got Fortnite now. It's got Rocket League, which is confirmed cross-platform play now.
Yes.
It's got Warframe. It's got Diablo 3. And we'll be doing another podcast, sometime soon to discuss the upcoming games of 2019, but there's some pretty sweet titles coming out for the Switch. So, if you've been holding out, it might be time to invest in this Nintendo console.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, obviously my PS4 is my rock, right? Like, I mean, I go on there, that's where all the friends are, that's what we play on there, but I'm talking, you make me choose one for the rest of the length, I don't know, however long these consoles live nowadays. The Nintendo Switch has probably the most fun, like everlasting games, I should say. Like, you don't really get burnt out on these games because A, they're Nintendo classics, but they're also like crazy remastered and done on a console that blows your mind. I don't know. To me, the Switch is such a simple concept where you can bring the game with you and dock it. The whole thing about the Nintendo Switch, this whole podcast, actually, Nintendo paid for it because they just wanted to get some Switch sales up. So thank you, Nintendo, for sponsoring this podcast.
If only. We do need some great products to test out for you guys and discuss if you guys are listening, Reggie.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Reggie's about due. He's been talking about it to jump into the Switch world. And to me, for him, he's not like a crazy gamer. I think he would be very happy with the Nintendo Switch. It's right up his alley where you don't have to be, anyone who likes the concept of video games but doesn't want to like spend hours and hours immersed in this complicated world. The Nintendo Switch is right up your alley and right where you need to be. It's the sweet spot of gaming, and Nintendo crushes it every single year, except for the Wii U. I don't know. That was an issue for a little bit.
The Wii U was like a half step. It was like a tester.
It was mismarketing at its finest, but yes, it was a good console. It wasn't an upgraded Wii. It was a weird name. Just don't name it a freaking Wii U. But anyway, enough about that. We're here to talk about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and I got it as like a pre-Christmas gift. It was one of those things where I'll tell you exactly what happened. Okay, it was a gift bought for me, right, by my lovely wife Kristen. And we were hanging out. She was playing a game on her phone. I was watching her play the game, and all of a sudden, a notification popped up on the screen, and I was like, I didn't see it. I don't even know what that was. And then it was like this whole back and forth where like, okay, I basically just ruined Christmas. And it came in, and it was like the Wednesday before Christmas. I got it, and I played it for hours when it came in, and it's freaking amazing. I love every aspect about it. It looks... I will say graphically, I don't really notice much of a difference from the Wii U to the Switch. Obviously, it's a little more crisp.
Yeah,
but how much more?
Definitely a little shinier.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. But how much more? I mean, can you detail these cartoon characters? You know what I mean? Like, essentially, these are cartoon characters in video games, but they're being brought to life in a game where you're meant to beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah, it's so this is the fourth, no, fifth
Let's go back.
Fifth Smash installment. There's the original on the N64.
64.
There was Melee on the GameCube.
GameCube, yes.
There was Brawl for the Wii.
Yes.
And then what people call just Smash 4 for the Wii U. And then there's Ultimate for the Switch. So this is the fifth game in the Smash collection. And honestly, I think that it's the best.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's freaking jam-packed. This thing is, there's up to, I think it was 74 fighters at least, 108 levels to actually fight on. And they're doing this thing called Spirit Mode. The Spirit Mode is like, I dove right into it because it's you choose these paths. That's how you unlock characters. And you go through, and you also unlock these spirits that are upgradable. It's like this crazy concept to me. And I really wasn't understanding what I was doing at first. I was just kind of winging it. And as I played through, I got like 10 hours in, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You know, I should be using this spirit over here when I'm fighting this. Or like, I can use this spirit to like open up this other pathway. It's a fun game mode, and that alone, it's basically their story mode, but it's also like you're gonna sink tons and tons of hours into it, which is one thing I thought was missing from the Wii U version was, you know, something that is a time suck. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of story. It didn't really have that on the Wii U version. It was just basically like, hey guys, you want to play this game and fight each other? Okay, let's put it away.
Yeah, you went from having Subspace Emissary and Brawl to pretty much nothing in Smash 4. And this, so the story mode for Smash Ultimate is called, what is it called?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Isn't it? Is that not the story mode, the Spirit Mode? I thought that was it.
Yeah,
Spirits.
It's just called Spirit Mode, but the subtitle is called World of Light.
All right.
And you're basically in this overworld where you go around and challenge other fighters who have these spirits. The spirits will basically add kind of a wrinkle to your fighter, whether it be increased stats or maybe it changes the physics of your character, or lets you start with a certain item.
Oh yeah, I pretty much always use the one that starts you with the drill. I just take that instantly and get them in a good position, shoot it at them, and it just sucks them right off the map. And I've gotten lucky more times than not while playing this, where I know I've lost over and over again, and then all of a sudden they'll accidentally fall off the map, and I'm like, this is nice. I totally earned this. But yeah, I've pretty much wiped out the entire left side of the board, aside from the top left. But I went left immediately in that game mode, and now I'm clearing it out. That's pretty much what you're looking at whenever you zoom out in this game mode. It's a giant game board with doors you have to unlock by doing these little tests and fighting these, and there's gyms that you can like upgrade your spirits, and your spirits are essentially upgrades of your characters. And I did get really lucky because I found Pac-Man relatively early, and Pac-Man's kind of my boo. So
he's your boy, huh?
Yeah, I've been Pac-Manning pretty hard, and I don't think I'm going to ever stop Pac-Manning. So I don't know who I'm going to unlock that's going to make me think, okay, I need to drop Pac-Man for this. So maybe Bowser. I don't know. I'm a big Bowser fan. I don't really like doing like a lot.
Bowser's so good now.
Oh my God, he's insane.
They actually have buffed most characters that I felt were pretty weak, design-wise.
Yeah.
For those of you that are hoping to get the same sort of story that you got from Subspace Emissary and World of Light, you're going to be a little disappointed. It's just they've really made it more of like an arcade challenge mode than a cohesive story like in Subspace Emissary. But I found that the World of Light is actually really nice, and you're right. It's a way to kind of just get lost and fight a whole bunch of different characters, but you feel like you're progressing.
Yeah.
When I first got the game, I actually jumped right into the classic mode because that was the fastest way to unlock the different characters.
Okay, see, that's my question. I've been playing this for easily 15 hours, right? Sunk into it. But I still don't understand. Do I have to play through the entire Spirit Mode to unlock all the characters, or is there a mode that I'm missing where I have the characters unlocked? Do I have to play the game more and more and more to unlock all the characters? Is that what's going on?
You can unlock the characters in several different ways. If you just smash, like just straight up just do smashes over and over, You'll eventually unlock them all,
Like a challenger will approach, right? Like that's the classic.
right.
Like a challenger has approached. Yeah.
And whoever won the fight would fight the challenger.
Okay.
You could do it via the spirit story mode, though that's the slowest probably.
Yeah, and that's what I've been doing. I've been grinding. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I want to get all these characters.
Well, the best way to do it is to play the classic mode, which is just like your classic Smash, where you fight 6 or 7 other characters with crazy stats. You do kind of like a target mode, but not target mode, and then you fight the Master Hand at the end.
Oh yeah, Master Hand, you dirty bitch.
And once you beat the classic mode with a character, it automatically unlocks another character.
Okay.
So I basically just ran through and did classic mode with all the different characters.
Oh, and you get like the little trophy, right? Like every time you beat it with a character.
Yeah, you get like a little badge or something.
Yeah.
But really, I found that not only it was the fastest way to unlock the characters, but it was also the best way to sample all the characters to see who I liked the most.
That's true. And who do you like the most currently? Which it could change, obviously, if another character gets unlocked. But I there's a couple characters that were new to this game that I have yet to unlock that I'm excited to play as well.
At the moment, I like Ike.
Ooh, all right.
He came in Brawl, I believe, but I just like using his giant sword and destroying people with it.
Yeah.
But there, we could talk about the new characters that they actually introduced. So every character that's ever been in a Smash game is back. That includes Snake, Ice Climbers, Mewtwo, Roy, Game & Watch, Pokemon Trainer's back, Wolf's back. Everybody who's ever been in it before is back. They added a handful of what they call, not shadow characters. Yeah, they might be shadow fighters. I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
They're basically like, so you have Peach and Daisy. And Daisy has the same move set as Peach, but she has slightly different stats. Like she hits harder but runs slower.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay.
And then they also introduced a whole bunch of new characters and have announced 5 DLC characters plus the Piranha Plant, which was a free DLC for people who bought the game.
Yeah.
Early on.
Yeah, and freaking Piranha Plant gets in the game before Waluigi is kind of freaking upsetting.
Hilarious.
It's not hilarious. It makes me sick. Waluigi, I would be Waluigi all the time, man. I freaking love I love him anytime, especially in Mario Party. He's my favorite character. All different. Anytime I get a chance to use him, I like to play as Waluigi. It's just the way I go. That's my thing. And boy, maybe not Mario Party. What is it? Mario Kart. Waluigi's my dude.
He's in Mario Tennis.
Yes, he's awesome. He's lanky. He's tall. He covers a lot of ground. I don't know. He would be good in Super Smash. And now I think there's so much hype behind it. They're literally building it up. It's going to be the most bought DLC ever for a Super Smash. I think when the time comes, they have to do it. This game, they have to do it at some point. It's the character's probably already made. They're just waiting for the perfect moment. Like right when the fire dies down on this, where they're like, okay, sales have kind of plateaued, maybe gone down a little bit. Now's the time. Waluigi's in, and it'll just go viral on in itself. Just like the memes of Waluigi finally being into the game will basically promote it a second time around. I think they're going to hold it.
Well, you know that he'll be in the last DLC.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, dude, he's going to be in this game. I guarantee it. If he's not, I will, I don't know, lick the bottom of a shoe or something. I don't know.
From what I can tell, they're pretty smart about the fact that new characters and DLC characters that they introduce either historically have, a pretty strong series behind them, like Mega Man. Little Mac has 2 or 3 Punch-Out games.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on Mega Man in this game, by the way. Maybe I'm an idiot, but to me, he's got to be one of the worst characters in the game. I hate him.
He's kind of a weird character.
It's disgusting. I was like, Mega Man, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to be blowing people away. Not even close, man. I get my butt kicked every time. Makes me sad.
So if you haven't been in the Smash zone as of late, not going to go into all of them, but I'll list them. In Smash 4, they introduced Mega Man, Pac-Man. I think no, Little Mac came out in Brawl, I think.
Yeah. Pac-Man. Pac-Man was a new character in the last game, like you said.
Mhm.
I didn't want to use him, but when I did, I was like, it's a freaking no-brainer, man. I don't know, the guy's awesome.
He's funny. I like he's got some funky moves, and it's always satisfying to beat people up with Pac-Man.
Yes, it is.
They got Duck Hunt in there, Ryu from Street Fighter, Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, and Bayonetta from the Bayonetta series, and Corrin and Robin from the Fire Emblem. So they got quite a few Fire Emblem characters. It's an incredibly popular game in Japan, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is why they keep introducing their characters. I really wouldn't be surprised to see another Fire Emblem character for that new game, the Three Kingdoms or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
be one of the DLCs.
I have never played a Fire Emblem game, but I'm looking at the list right now for new fighters for this game. Obviously, Piranha Plant, but there is a character named Chrom from Fire Emblem who is now in this game.
Yes, Chrom is a shadow fighter. He's kind of a mix between Roy and Ike, actually. He's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
He's from Fire Emblem. Oh, geez. Fire Emblem Fates. No, not Fates.
I don't
even.
One
of the other ones.
You got me. I don't know. He could just say Fire Emblem. That's all enough. My eyes glaze over. I don't even know. Daisy from Mario. Dark Samus is just a darker version of... Did they have different moves?
Her moves... sorry. Well, I'm assuming... Dark Samus is like an alien, right?
Yeah.
Dark Samus is more floaty.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. Floatier movement does a little different from Samus. She doesn't roll when dodging or jumping either. Okay, so it's a little more upright. Ken from Street Fighter. King K. Rool is a character that I want to unlock and use. As somebody who's been using Bowser a little bit more in the last one, I want to use this big Tubblard. I just want to see what he can do.
He's actually really interesting. He has some utility. He's got some range. He's got a counter. He's got some really funky smash moves. I haven't really played with him all that much, but he is pretty fun. For those of you that don't know, King K. Rool is the big bad guy from the Donkey Kong series for the most part.
Yeah, very cool. Incineroar from Pokemon, a relatively new Pokemon. Was that last generation or it wasn't Sun and Moon? He was
from Sun and Moon.
Oh, he was from this. Okay, Sun and Moon. Okay.
Yeah, he's like basically a giant pro wrestling cat.
Yes.
Who uses pro wrestling moves, which I think is amazing.
That's awesome.
He was the Pokemon I picked in Sun. I actually have been thinking about getting more into him. His recovery is really bad, though.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
They introduced Inkling from the Splatoon series.
Yes, I have yet to get that action. I mean, I'm a big fan of Splatoon. I haven't played it in a while, though. It's kind of depressing, but there's just so many other games right now, and I don't know. I feel bad. Like, am I going to go back to it? I keep saying it's a great game, but then I'm like, man, it's like so far on the bottom of the pile that I'm not sure if I'm ever going to go back to it. I'm sure I'll put it in eventually, but it is
I feel
sad.
like it's a game you got to play with a friend.
Yeah, absolutely. The online mode's pretty fun. Just
Inkling, I'll tell you, they have kind of a weird move set, and their design does stay true to the Splatoon game, where if they run out of ink, they have to replenish it before they can start using their stronger moves again.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
That is kind of weird.
They do hit really hard.
That's kind of all right. That's cool. I'm excited to use it for sure. I mean, whenever I unlock the Inkling, but I guess we'll see. Isabelle from Animal Crossing, to me, one of the least conspicuous characters. Like, you just look at this person and be like, "Yep, that person's gonna get punted right off the map." How does this person fight? I don't understand it. Uses various trinkets from around the village to battle. Fishing rod side special, pretty interesting. She can snag...
the fishing rod is actually one of the best grapples in the game. The range is super long.
You can use it as a recovery move too. That's pretty cool. Yeah, see, these are the characters I want to unlock because I played as all the other ones. Now I just want to get down and dirty into these ones. Is this Richter from Castlevania? I didn't even know.
Yes, Richter and Simon Belmont were both introduced. Richter is technically a shadow fighter of Simon.
Yeah.
They're both really strong and have some really cool moves. I want to say that Simon and Richter are probably one of the stronger characters in the game, and their whip has some really crazy range.
Yeah.
I like them a lot, and I think it's hilarious. They have that kind of like. Have you ever played the older Castlevanias?
The only Castlevania I played is on Game Boy, like the original Game Boy.
Yes,
like, that's the one I played.
You know how they like walk with the curled arms?
Yes.
They have that same walk in Smash, which I think is hilarious.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's cool. And then the other character, Ridley from Metroid. I'm not really familiar with Ridley, but I can tell you he looks badass, and I want to use him when I unlock him one of these years. I don't know when I'm going to do it. But.
Dude, you just got to do the classic modes.
I think that's what I got to do. I just
start with the characters you like the most,
yeah,
and then do the new ones as you unlock them, so you can experience them.
I'll have to start grinding, but that's fine. But I think it's fun that you have to earn these characters. You're not given the full slate. I think that's the best part.
Yes, and the challenger fights are really tough. I mean, there were a handful that I lost the first time.
Oh, that's so depressing, too, because you're like, yes, it's going to happen. I got it. And, like, you just take it for granted. Like, okay, here it is. I got a new character. And then you get your ass beat. And you're like, okay, well, that was fun. Which makes you want that character even more. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I just got my butt kicked by Ridley. Now I don't know. Will I ever get another chance? I don't know.
They did introduce a way that if you did lose to a character, if you do some other activities, you'll get the chance to re-challenge them.
Okay.
Which is kind of nice. It's in the same window as the classic mode. It's like a little door that'll show up. The other thing, so other stuff that they changed or added to this game.
Yeah.
They changed the Smash mode so that you can devise different rule sets. That basically you choose the rule set first. So if you like stock matches, you do stock matches. If you like stock matches with no items, you make a rule set with stock matches, no items. And then you pick your map first.
Okay.
Before you pick the characters, which is interesting. I think that's probably a quality of life change for competitive players, because they would pick characters and then
I'm stuck
with a map where it wasn't great.
Yeah, to me, I'm not that invested. I'm just like, listen, I got my set of people, and I'm gonna just rotate it based off of how I feel. I'll use Bowser if I wanted to just beat the hell out of people. Pac-Man to me is my go-to. I feel like I can do both with Pac-Man. And if I'm going for like a smaller character, faster, Sonic to me obviously is one that I like to mess around with and just spam the spin attack. Just keep hitting people with it, because that's to me, I'm an asshole and it's fun. But Lucinda is actually pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan. I didn't even know. I couldn't even tell you what game that's from. Which is
She's
sad.
also from Fire Emblem.
Yeah, exactly.
If they have a sword, it's a good chance that they're from Fire Emblem.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, it surprised me a lot, because when I went through the characters in the last game, I didn't really realize it, but I was whipping some serious ass with Lucinda, and I was like, who the hell is this? And then it became part of my rotation. But
she's like a faster Marth, basically.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's pretty sweet.
I prefer her to Marth, I believe.
I don't disagree. I mean, it's just I don't think I've even remembered using Marth.
I'm trying to think.
Is Marth's sword bigger? No.
Yeah, I think he might have more reach than she does.
Okay.
She's a little quicker though in running and hopping, and her pokes and stuff like that. Something else they changed gameplay wise, when you do air dodging, you can control the direction that you dodge in, which is new. They changed it so that it was less predictable, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They also changed it so you can hold your smash attacks for longer, which changes, the meta. People were getting punished really hard for holding their smash attacks. And
I get that.
Stand there and wait for them to have to use it.
Get it smacked away. Yeah, I get it. That's cool. To kind of spice it up a little bit, because right when somebody would get it, I'd be like, all right, everybody run away, like, because it has to be used like pretty quickly.
One of the other things they changed was the ultimate smash, like the smash ball. They added a rule where you can basically build up an ultimate meter while you're fighting and then use it during the match. So rather than have everybody chase the smash ball around, like, Morans, you can just build up your special over time. They're less effective, I think, or they got nerfed a little bit, but it's a different wrinkle for the game if you're tired of no items, Final Destination box only.
Yeah, what about the wrinkle where I think I'm about to get a special and I spontaneously combust? What is all that? Like, why are we throwing bomb specials out? That makes me so mad. I'm so angry.
The fake smash balls is hilarious.
See, and I haven't cared to even look enough, but I'm sure there's a way to identify it, right? Like it probably is glowing a little bit different.
Sitting on the ground.
Oh, is it? Is that that simple? Oh, okay. Well,
basically, they spawn and people get all excited and forget that.
Yeah. That would be me.
They're duds or whatever.
Sadly, that is me. So listen, if we were rating this game, obviously on a scale of 1 to 10, you can use 0.5s. Okay, I don't know if anyone's going. I don't know if I'm going to go 10 out of 10, because to me, I guess when I'm looking at it, obviously they put everything in it that they possibly could, everything that they ever have had. So I guess I mean it would make sense to give it a 10. Then really, right? For some reason, it's not a port. It's definitely not a port. I mean, for some reason, it still kind of feels like gameplay-wise the same. I don't know. It's not crazy different, which it shouldn't be because the Wii U one was awesome. But for that reason, I'm gonna give it like a 9.5, maybe. I just have to knock it down a peg.
That's still really high. What I'll say is this: look, it definitely physics-wise is closest to Smash 4, but they sped up the gameplay a lot to try and find favor with those people who are melee zealots. I think that the characters are probably the most balanced they've ever been, and obviously the variety is incredible.
Yes, absolutely.
I love this game. It's definitely the best Smash ever.
Yeah, I don't think there's a question beyond that. I mean, to me in my heart, the very first one, Nintendo 64. Yeah, I friggin' love it. Just the fact that I could take somebody and throw them on Donkey Kong's back and just jump off the map when I have more stock than them. That is like my favorite thing to do in the entire world. But they can kind of wiggle out of it a little better in these newer ones. But
yeah, I would probably give it a 9, a solid 9.
Yeah, that seems safe. I
think the challenge with this game is that it's a very social game. You can go on and play the story mode, when you're sitting around hanging out. You can play online, which I've played with friends from Portland and Japan at the same time, and the connectivity was actually pretty good.
Okay. That's the one thing I haven't done is try to go online because I'm not a glutton for punishment. I don't want to. I know I did it on the last one. The game is Super Smash, and you get Super Smash. Like it's not even fun. I don't know why. There's some crazies out there, man. Some savages that just maul little people like me. It doesn't work.
It's definitely a must-have if you have a Switch. And, need I remind people, if you don't know what the Switch is, it's a console that you can hook up to your TV, but also bring around with you wherever you want, like a Game Boy.
Yes, it is.
And it has a huge LCD screen. Well, not huge. It's
pretty
6x4 or whatever.
It's a decent size. It's like a Nook. It's a pretty like a Kindle. It's pretty good. I don't know. To me, I've definitely played more on that small screen than I have on my TV by far. Yeah,
same.
Even when I'm in my house sitting in front of my TV, I'm just like, you know what? I just want to, because it reminds me. It's the nostalgia of like the first Game Boy I ever had. You know what I mean? Just being able to like hunker down anywhere. I just think that's the value in that is amazing to me. I just think that's awesome. I think every console should have that option where I could take a little baby screen with me and just play it wherever. I think it's a brilliant idea, and every console should have that. And I kudos to Nintendo for doing something like that, because it's just, to me, that is invaluable. I think it's awesome. So enough glowing about the Nintendo Switch. We pretty much said here the Nintendo Switch is the shiznit. If you don't have one now, there's no hope for you. I don't know. Not that
no. There's hope.
Okay, not that there's
always hope. Nintendo will always welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, that's true.
And dude, I mean,
It is the least toxic gaming community, Nintendo players, because it's the broadest spectrum. Like hardcore gamers get it and they love it, and then people who are barely into gaming pick up. Nintendo just crushes that in the aspect. They have the broadest range of gamers in the entire industry, and my grandmother still has her Nintendo Wii. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and she was on everybody I think had a Nintendo Wii when those came out. I'm pretty sure like every household in America, it was like mandatory you had to have Nintendo Wii. But just everything Nintendo does is so innovative and so unique to them. It's so perfect for them. It's awesome. I love it.
My bold prediction for Nintendo is that they're going to get into the VR stuff with their next console.
These motion controls and everything, they were already kind of innovators in that aspect. Aside from, they haven't done full blown VR yet, but just the motion controls, being able to bowl on my TV with those controllers, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different cool things that can be done with that. And yeah, I think you're right. I think the VR world, when people finally embrace it, because I had a PlayStation VR, you know what I mean? I had it and it was fun for a while, but there's just not a lot of developers out there developing games for VR. But I do think that is most certainly the next step. I mean, it's going to happen eventually. I think it's a little early at this point, but people will start jumping on that bandwagon, and when it does, it will be embraced because it's amazing. Even PlayStation VR in itself is amazing. It's just I don't know. There just doesn't seem to be a big market for it right now, but it has to be the next step. Like, you can't make people look more real unless you hire actors to literally act out a million different possibilities and scenes. You know what I mean? I'm trying to imagine how else it could look better.
Not only that, but there's no real other way to immerse players more than getting the VR. And look, I think the Switch has staying power. I think that we're probably not getting a new Nintendo console for probably 4 or 5 more years.
Which is fine. I mean, this to me is Nintendo has a perfect console. There's not much they have to do with it right now. This is now their time to be like, what can we do next? And really, I mean, they had all the time in the world with the Wii U because they weren't going to fix that. So they're like, let's focus on the Switch. And they're back. I mean, not that they ever went away, but this is definitely something that's going to buy them a lot of time to do something very unique again. I mean, they're just every time they come off the console, they do something a little bit different. It's awesome. So, that was that. I mean, we gave our review. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a wonderful game. We got to do some reviews of trash games. I think, you know what I mean. Like we got to play some garbage games because we're pretty. We go pretty easy on these people here, but and it's easy to whenever Spider-Man is awesome, Pokemon Let's Go is awesome, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is awesome. We need to go to the bottom of the barrel and start picking at some of these turd games.
There's definitely an opportunity for that. It's everybody. There's some games out there too. Like, I was really against Overcooked for a while because I thought that it was just one of those cheapy, like indie games. But that game is so much freaking fun.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Is that on the Switch now or no?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was.
Switch.
I thought I remember seeing it.
Candace loves it.
There's so many games on the Switch that I mean, their digital library is obviously growing more and more every single day. But
we'll have to do a Nintendo talk at some point to talk more about the company and the games and where things are headed. But
yeah, definitely. It's easy to do and it's fun to talk about for sure. So definitely, I mean, look forward to that in the future as well. And if you want to stay up to date with what's going on here at The Chunk, follow at The Chunk Pod on all social medias you can find. If you're listening to the podcast right now, obviously you're listening to it because, I mean, how else would you be hearing these words? You can listen to it anywhere podcasts are found: Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker, wherever you can find them. We're there. Just search The Chunk Pod, and please give us a like, give us a subscribe, and if you have the time, we'd definitely appreciate it if you could throw a little review our way. That would be awesome too. And just stick around for more from The Chunk. JJ, thank you so much for hanging out. This has definitely been a fun one, and I'm gonna go actually play some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate before I go to bed tonight.
There you
Try
go.
to unlock some characters the cheat code way that you do. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's not a cheat code. It's obviously the easiest way to do it. But Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a big hit, and if you have any interest in a Nintendo Switch, if you own one already and don't own this game, you got to get on it. And if you have been looking at the Switch, I would definitely say now is the time. Scoop it, because there are so many good games out for it. You will not be disappointed. So thank you so much for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time on The Chunk.